Right, welcome to the channel. Interesting news. We've got a rumour that the Mandalorian Season 2 actually now has Katee Sackhoff in it. Interesting stuff. I would say that this kind of makes sense. They're looking to pull people in, which, get bums on seats, eyes there, curry favour, I guess. Mandalorian doesn't really need to do that, though, because the Mandalorian's been pretty well received. So let's get into this. This is on /film. Before we do, please do check out and support my original short film, Blackfields. There's a link to it, as well as merchandise, down below in the description box. And I am doing a massive giveaway for anyone donating $5 or more. You're in for a chance of winning an actual movie prop. Yes, pretty awesome. I'll leave a link to a video explaining that above. But let's get right into it, right? So, like I said, on /film, Battlestar Galactica star and Star Wars veteran. So this is what I mean. They're trying to curry favour. They're trying to pull people in. But the Mandalorian doesn't need to. But maybe this is from on high. From Disney on high. Because, you've got to remember, Disney movies, Disney series, they're two kind of polar opposites. There's different management involved. But ultimately, it still comes down to Kathleen Kennedy. And if the movies haven't done particularly well, and they know now that The Mandalorian's very well received, they start to take note of it a little bit more, which can actually be a complete recipe for disaster. Because by and large, Kathleen Kennedy has left Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni alone on The Mandalorian. But I think they're getting involved now, which could be bad. But we'll see, right? We'll see on the second and third season, because third season's been confirmed now. But obviously, it's been reported now that Katee Sackhoff is joining The Mandalorian Season 2. We've exclusively learned that Sackhoff will be playing a live-action version of Bo-Katan Kryze. I butchered that. A Mandalorian warrior she previously voiced in Dave Filoni's animated series Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and later Star Wars Rebels. Don't hate this idea. Don't hate this idea. We've seen good, strong female Mandalorians in The Mandalorian, and I think it worked. I can't remember what they titled her in the show, but the blacksmith, who basically was the leader, making all the weapons and things like that, the blacksmith in The Mandalorian, great. Really cool. I thought it worked very, very well. I know some people didn't, but I actually thought it really worked. Now, although both Lucasfilm and Sackhoff's reps declined to comment, we have confirmed that this story, with multiple sources, so they seem pretty confident with this. They're not... /film are not terrible with reveals. They can be pretty good, actually. So I wouldn't be too quick to judge this as a complete no-no. Like, seriously. Now, she filmed her role back in February before Hollywood production shut down due to the global coronavirus pandemic. So, seems like it's already done and dusted. Now, Sackhoff has made a career playing complex sci-fi tough women, recently appearing in Netflix's sci-fi drama series Another Life, which is... anyone? Is that good? Is that good, anyone? I know that they've renewed it for a season 2. Is that good? I saw it and I thought, well, I'll check that out. Tell me if it's good. Let me know down below. Now, anyway, so The Mandalorian Season 2 completed principal photography in March, and the post-production is being done remotely. Makes perfect sense. So the new episodes will still hit Disney Plus on October 2020. That's already confirmed. Apparently, it's not delaying anything. Still releasing in the fall or autumn. I'm really looking forward to it. I really like The Mandalorian. I thought it was a good show. But obviously, it remains to be seen now that they're clearly taking note of it. Now, Bo-Katan first appeared in Season 4 of Star Wars animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars. The character was a Mandalorian warrior, a lieutenant in the radical splinter group Death Watch, second in command to the group's leader, Pre Vizsla, or Vizsla, when Maul took possession of the Darksaber. So this will be interesting. It kind of makes sense. Because how did Moff Gideon get the Darksaber? You know? And maybe she's a recruit with Pedro Pascal's character, the Mandalorian. Maybe she's going to help him hunt down Moff Gideon to get the Darksaber back. You can tie it in narratively to actually have some real high stakes, some personal connection to the story there. Because, you know, she watched her leader get murdered with the Darksaber. The Darksaber's clearly been taken from that person. Maybe she wants to return it back to where, you know, its rightful place. I don't know, but can you see it does actually make sense? And I think you could do something really interesting with that. Really, really interesting. Now, obviously, Maul took the throne of Mandalore. Bo-Katan refused to accept the Outsider as her new leader. She was instrumental in recruiting the Jedi and the Republic to lay siege to Mandalore and oust Maul. Later, in Star Wars Rebels, Sabine Wren chose to pass the infamous weapon to Bo-Katan, believing that she could unite the Mandalorian clans. So there is absolutely personal connection there. And I think it could be great. I think that's awesome. And a lot of people, there'll be so many people going, strong females, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Honestly, this works. And it makes sense. And narratively, it makes sense. Because, again, they've already introduced the Darksaber. This is setting up stuff like this. There's connection. There could be vengeance. There could be revenge. There's just emotional stakes. And I think, yeah, could be good. Now, obviously, if you don't know the animated series, it all boils down to this. So this is the end. Bo-Katan was an instrumental Mandalorian leader who once wielded the Darksaber, a weapon that the villainous Moff Gideon now controls, as seen in the first season finale of The Mandalorian. So why Bo-Katan? This is their thoughts anyway. Obviously, I've given mine. Maybe important to The Mandalorian. How did Bo-Katan lose the Darksaber? Again, how did Moff Gideon get possession of it? Those stories have yet to be told. We don't know much about the Purge of Mandalore and the Night of 1,000 Tears, but you can easily see why fans have been speculating that Kryze could appear in The Mandalorian. There is a lot of Mandalorian history missing from the current Star Wars canon, and maybe Bo-Katan's live-action appearance would serve to fill in those gaps. It does actually make sense. Now, Discussing Film even asked Sackhoff about the possibility earlier this year, to which she responded, I mean, who wouldn't? There are people that are going to jump to conclusions that Bo is going to be in The Mandalorian because on paper it does make sense. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see and cross all my fingers and toes. You never know. So she's kind of alluded to it there. We only know that Bo-Katan appears in this upcoming season. We don't know how she appears. It's possible that Bo-Katan's involvement could be continued or contained to flashbacks. Because again, Moff Gideon may have killed her. You never know. Since Gideon has the Darksaber, that means he would have taken it from her in a battle at some point. Bo-Katan may have died in that battle, and we could see that play out on screen in a flashback in The Mandalorian Season 2. And I wouldn't put it past them. They're not afraid of just doing cameo pieces. And that, I quite like that. Commendable, to be perfectly honest. Commendable that they're happy to do, you know, a few flashbacks here and there and basically just cameos. I like that. You know, it's good. You don't have to always include someone permanently all the time. Now, the Filoni legacy. Dave Filoni loves tying up loose ends from his previous shows, bringing back characters to finish their journeys in his new adventures. We saw this with Ahsoka and Bex in Star Wars Rebels, and we've already confirmed that The Mandalorian Season 2 will have the first live-action appearance of Ahsoka. The last Mandalorian scoop we broke, which I don't know if that is that actually confirmed now? I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed. I think this is good. I think this is good. The thing is, though, now this season may get bloated. Okay, so let's analyse what we've got involved here. Right, we got Boba Fett, rumoured. Captain Rex, rumoured. Now we've got Katee Sackhoff, Mandalorian character, rumoured. It's getting a bit bloated. A bit bloated. I still remain very, very confident. I'm very, very much looking forward to it, because you can have all these characters involved and it won't actually be bloated at all. I liked the first season. I've got a lot of confidence in it being a good one. You'd have to really go off the rails for it to turn out, you know, shit. But like I say, the fact that very clearly Kathleen Kennedy is now getting involved in it, I firmly believe that. And it does make sense because, of course, why wouldn't they? They've seen how successful it is. They now want to manage it and make sure it's still a continued success, which it is what management tends to do when they greenlight things which they think is not particularly special. They just kind of let them run and just go over there and do it. So yeah, I think this is good news. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? Do you think they run the risk of it being bloated? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Please do turn your notifications to all, not personalized, because you are allowing YouTube to curate the content for you at that point, and you won't be notified of any of the videos that I do. It's a statistical fact now. It's what I've seen on my channel. So anyway, it is what it is. But thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I've been Mr. H. Take care.